Welcome back to AgriTalk, broadcasting from Madison, Wisconsin and World Dairy Expo. You'll hear a little more activity behind us today because we're out on the balcony taking advantage of beautiful weather here at Madison, Wisconsin, the Alliance Energy Center, where we're broadcasting from. Behind us, if you'll be watching the video at agritalk.com, you'll see a lot of the activity going on behind us. Mark Clark is with us, General Manager for World Dairy Expo. And Mark, you have to be really feeling pretty good to have the weather forecast as good as it is. I've been asking you, is it almost too good? And you said probably not too good. I mean, it's just about right, isn't it?
Yeah, and to the best of my knowledge, nobody's taking credit yet, so I'm going to take full responsibility for the weather this year. But it really is perfect. Some people say, can it be too perfect? We're a 5-day show, and we think that people can get away for one day. For as far as crops in Wisconsin here, we're about where we need to be. We're not behind schedule, so I don't think that's going to keep people away. So I'll take this over the rain, sleet, and snow we've had in the past. So just gorgeous. Attitudes are so much better when you look at the blue sky and the colors turning in the sun. So it's really fun to be here right now.
Easier for a farmer to take a day off and come to the show when they know the forecast is good for the next several days.
Yeah, right now, all the way through next Wednesday, it looks like this exact weather, so it should be easy to slip away. And like I say, everybody's kind of a little bit ahead of schedule on the corn silage here in Wisconsin, so we're sitting really good here right now.
You tell me that opening day crowd yesterday was tracked pretty close to what you would have been expecting and what you had last year?
Yeah, it really is exactly where we were last year. Here were 13,100 plus people. Great crowd for us yesterday. A lot of FFA kids were here on grounds, and that's the future of the dairy industry, so we're excited to bring a couple thousand FFA kids on grounds. So it was a really good day yesterday for us.
What about your shows? Numbers holding this year?
Well, the best way to describe this year so far is a year of records. We've got, looks like about 810 commercial exhibitors on grounds. We've never had more than 800 before. As far as the cattle, we probably are going to have more cattle than we've ever had before. We construct a lot of temporary structures to hold cattle. Sunday morning, we had to construct another facility to hold cattle because we maxed out all of our permanent facilities plus all of our temporary structures, so we had to build a second round of temporary structures. So it's a great problem to have. So I think it shows that the attitudes in the dairy industry, especially the registered dairy industry, are really strong and really positive.
And I wanted to ask you about that. It's been a tough couple of years for the dairy industry, although this past year a little bit of improvement. So you think the attitudes are starting to reflect that?
I've definitely seen that. One thing, you can see the smiles on the faces, which is a big indicator. But we're talking about registered cattle here, and I think the demand from the international side for our genetics here in North America is continuing to grow. So you look at the cattle that are out in these barns, the marketing potential for these, they realize that they have to be at a national show like this in order to get the exposure and the marketing potential for their cattle. So really, really good time for these registered breeders right now.
I was asking you about the international visitors, and you really won't know till later in the week, but there's been a lot of interest.
Yeah, the internationals are slowly starting to trickle in. They really start coming heavy on Thursday for the big show at the end of the week. But kind of based off of the inquiries we had over the last 3 to 4 months prior leading up to this, the interest from international is like we've never seen it before. So we're really expecting a big crowd. We usually have between 85 and 90 different countries that are represented here, which, that's literally almost half the world here. So I have no reason to think it's going to be any less than that this year. So we're really excited about that whole global aspect of Dairy Expo.
Which really shows this is the showcase for the dairy industry, the latest in technology, the latest in genetics. They're going to find it here.
It really is. And the neat thing about it, Mike, is it doesn't matter if you're milking 5,000 cows or 50 cows. There's something here for all types of producers, regardless of your size, but also regardless of what your management style is. If you're a parlor, you're still stanchion barn, you're organic, you're grazing, there's something that's here from these different companies for you to see and learn and hopefully take back to your operation back home and say, yeah, I saw this or I heard this. I took in one of the educational seminars that we have here on grounds and it made sense. I'm going to try and incorporate that. That's really what we're about, is exchanging commerce, networking, and really making the dairy industry more profitable.
The show runs through Saturday. Kind of give us some of the highlights for the rest of the week.
Well, the Jersey show is finishing up right now, and there's a cattle show going on all times here right now. We have educational seminars and virtual farm tours going on all throughout the week. There's constantly banquets going on, and there's a buzz that's just nonstop for literally 12 hours a day around this place. So if you can't find something to do here, well, we're in trouble.
You were telling me that you've really kind of showing off the skyline of Madison in the show ring this year.
Yeah, we got kind of a unique thing, something we've never done before. This year's theme is Around the World of Dairy in 5 days, and I was struggling with the theme at first on what to do in the show ring, and we started thinking about it. Really, we think the world of dairy is right here in Madison, Wisconsin this week. It's in the Coliseum where the cattle show is happening. It happens in Madison. It happens in this exhibition hall. So we kind of went around that whole theme of is the world dairy comes to Madison, Wisconsin for these 5 days. And that's the theme we played off of this year.
All right, off to a great start. Enjoy the weather and have a great show.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming, and we're looking forward to a good week.
Thanks, Mark. Mark Clark, General Manager for World Dairy Expo. And again, weather is just ideal and the crowds are good and off to a great start. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk more dairy industry issues in the second half of the program. But when we come back, we're going to check in with Tom Bias with Growth Energy. We're going to talk about this challenge to the renewable fuel standard, get his thoughts on that. That's coming up next. Stay with us from Madison, Wisconsin. This is AgriTalk.